I'm Design Principal of Design by Tani. Please join Design Camp, a collaboration between AHEC, HDII Jakarta, and also HDII. Salam HDII. Hi, I'm Design Principal of Design by Tani. Please join Design Camp, a collaboration between AHEC, HDII Jakarta, and also HDII. Salam HDII. Hi, I'm Christopher Faniaha, Design Principal of Design by Tani. Please join Design Camp, a collaboration between AHEC, HDII Jakarta, and also HDII.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for your attendance for today's webinar, Design for Tomorrow, an interaction between interior and furniture design. Selamat siang semua. Terima kasih sudah hadir dalam webinar ini. This is our first webinar and is a preliminary introduction or socialization to HDII DKI Jakarta, an AHEC Design Camp event, a collaboration between HDII DKI Jakarta and AHEC, American Hardwood Export Council, and also supported by ADPII Jakarta, Aliansi Designer Product Industry Indonesia, Cabang Jakarta, and in HIMTI, Himpunan Industri Mebel dan Kerajinan Indonesia. Design Camp is a workshop competition for emerging talent in Indonesia, who will learn about the use of American red oak in furniture, interior design, and to create their own original design, mentored by esteemed professional designers. This event will run from January to March 2022. Today's webinar will also be broadcasted live on YouTube, HDII DKI Jakarta. If you have any questions, please use the chat box and write your questions, which will be answered after all speakers' presentations. And do not forget to fill the attendance forms of the closing sessions of this webinar, and also fill for anyone who needs SKPK certification. The link can be seen on the chat box on the right. For SKPK certification, we will need participants to have their video on and to photo bersama during the closing session. So please let me introduce myself. I am Trihikmawati. I am the founder and design director of TMS Creative, also a member of HDII. I will be the MC and moderator for today's webinar. So, sorry, I'm having a cold. Before we start the webinar, let us all sing our national anthem, Indonesia Raya. For introduction, first of all, please kindly let me welcome Mr. John Chan as the Regional Director of American Hardwood Export Council, Southeast Asia, and GRCH AHEC. So, hi, Mr. John Chan, how are you? You're still unmute, sir. You need to unmute it. Unmute your microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Hi.
you. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. How are you?
So happy to see you all.
Oh, I'm happy too.
It's been a long day, you know, that we've been waiting for this to happen.
Great. So, anyway, so you're going to present for us today. Please kindly introduce yourself and then present.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm John Chen, you know, the Regional Director of American Hardwood Export Council for Southeast Asia and Greater China. And I've been working since for American Hardwood Export Council, AHEC, you know, since 1992. This is my 30 years working with AHEC, but at the same time, working together with many friends, many associations, many designers, and in Indonesia. So let me welcome all of you, the audience and the friends attending the seminar today. Dear guests, organizers, HDII and AHEC, you know, and also thank you. I welcome the MC, you know, and the team of HDII. Rina Ranville, President of HDII Jakarta, Naila, the Program Director. And today we have speaker from United States, you know, Dana Suspisa. And the mentors, Eddie Budiano, Karina Jiang, and Gerard Lim, and the medias, and AHEC's PR team, Sycamore team, Anna, Aaron, and Ryan. Special VIP guest, Joshua, my old friends, and also friends of my AHEC and supporter of AHEC, Professor Summerson. She visited Jakarta many years ago, and she just retired as president of RISD. So Karina Jiang was graduated many years ago from RISD, so well connections. And today we also attended the webinar is Ray Satana, Agriculture Counselor, U.S. Embassy in Jakarta. And agriculture specialist Arif Ramanulov, and also my good friends Abby Adula, chairman of APDII, and Mr. Sobert, Secretary General of HIMKI. Welcome you to the interior and furniture design, especially focused U.S. red oak. In this time of the year, as everybody knows, that the COVID-19 pandemic, AHEC team and I would like to work and cooperate with you and your industry to navigate the challenges and improve our competitiveness together. The global economies felt the impact of the pandemic that is still raging worldwide. The good news is that Indonesia has become the second biggest US hardwood in Southeast Asia. Good news to you and to American hardwood industry. With the vaccine program, it gives new hope for the global economies of recovery, especially the United States, China, and Southeast Asian nations, including Indonesia, are expected to post GDP positive and fast growth in the year 2022. As we say goodbye to the year 2021 in less than 2 weeks and look forward to the new year of 2022. Economies in the region are deemed to pick up in the coming year. AHEC represents an industry that has environmental responsibility at its heart, which HDII also shares. Using wood from well-managed resources such as American forests is one of the most environmentally sound choices that we can make as consumers. AHEC continues to commit to conduct comprehensive program to promote the application of sustainable US hardwood in manufacturing, architectural and interior design through physical seminars and webinars, PR events, conventions, and exhibitions. For example, the Furniture Design Camp 2021 to 2022 has been a joint cooperation of HDII and AHEC. We will continue working with media, trade, design, and architectural association in your country. Together, we share a common goal to ensure partnerships that are mutually benefit. Your success means our success. Furthermore, I look forward to strengthen our cooperations in dealing with developing the domestic market and creating more awareness of US hardwood, which is legally and sustainably sourced with a wide variety of species for a plethora of applications. On behalf of American Hardwood Export Council, AHEC, I heartily thank you for all your support expressed over the past 30 years. And I look forward to our cooperations in the year 2022. Now I'd like to introduce AHEC's team. Peggy Yu, Marketing Manager, who has been spending great effort in working with the HDII team on this particular project, interior and furniture design. And I also like to introduce our new colleagues who has succeeded Christy as marketing manager. So let us also welcome Kina Cheng. And on behalf of AHEC, wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Stay safe and healthy. Hope to see you all soon in your country or in Hong Kong in 2022.
Okay. Thank you very much, John. Okay, so thank you for that speech or presenting introduction to AHEC. And thank you for AHEC, John, for the support for HDII DKI Jakarta and this collaboration of Design Camp. So next, please kindly let me welcome Ibu Rina Renville as Ketua or the President of HDII DKI Jakarta 2019 to 2022. Hi, Rina. You need to unmute. Okay. Hi. I think your microphone is still muted. Oh, hi, at last. Okay, how are you?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, hello too.
John, how's John?
Hi, John.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi, John.
Hi, Rina.
Hi.
So, Rina, can you explain a little bit or in thorough words regarding Design Camp event? And of course, before that, can you also introduce HDII and why the collaboration and what is the event? Thank you.
Okay. Hello everyone, selamat datang semuanya. Terima kasih ya Mbak Tri for lovely introduction. Thank you everybody and welcome to today's first webinar of Design Camp. Honorable guests, Mr. John, President of American Hardwood Export Council. Hi, how are you? Honorable guests, Joshua Simanjuntak from Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy. Semoga beliau sudah hadir. Sebentar lagi mungkin beliau akan join. Presiden HDII Pusat Bapak Rohadi, how are you? Bapak Adimas juga, apa kabar? Thanks for join today and thanks for support. ADPII Jakarta Chairman, Bapak Abdi Abdillah, thanks for joining today. From HIMKI representative, hopefully Bapak Sobur is coming. Bapak Adi Nugraha, he is former ADPII Chairman Pusat. He's in Finland. Unfortunately, halo Pak Adi. Halo, apa kabar? Adi Nugraha.
I'm fine.
Adi Nugraha is in Finland, yeah. So thank you for joining today. So thank you, Judge, mentor. There's Karina, Jared Lim. I see Jared Lim, Pak Budiono. Also person from Chancellor of U.S. Embassy. We invite Dean, Faculty of Jakarta, Interior Designers, University in Jakarta. So welcome committee, all designers for Design for Tomorrow. So before I start, I would like to present our slide of program, little bit of Design Camp program. So we're very happy to present the program of Design Camp 2022. This is the program of Moment of Collaborations also. Design Camp is a collaborative program between AHEC, American Hardwood Export Council, and HDII DKI Jakarta, and supported in partnership with ADPII Jakarta and HIMKI. So can we start the slide? So the Design Camp is about using of red oak timber for furniture's interior design, interior spaces, for interiors and product designer. So this program will be held next year until March 2022. So the program is engage designers, students with international designers, mentors, speakers, of course, from USA to share their thought and to get exchange ideas, creativities, innovation, to get new experience of design and working partnership, of course, with AHEC to present as international exhibition, yet locally exhibition. So we would like to invite designers, young designers, students to interior and furniture's design camps to participate. Of course, this is for interior and furniture's background. So the timeline, we have studied next year, first opening at 21st of January, and will be classroom, and at the end we have a submission of design until awarding at 25th of March 2022. So I would like to introduce also today is a first program webinar regarding the design camp. So it's a design for tomorrow, interactions between furnitures and interior design. So thank you for the speaker today, Pak Joshua Simanjuntak. He's a keynote speaker for today. Mr. Dana from USA, thank you for joining also. And thanks for Abi and Chris Tanihaha, and special thanks for Instituto Marangoni for being here today. And thank you also for Tri, as a member of HDII Jakarta, to be our panelist, moderator, and also our MC today. Thank you, Tri. So, program design camp, as I said before, starting next year, there will be 40 designers. We collect 40 designers. We have 7 mentors for activity exchange class, and there will be 3 class of designers, and also we have a class between mentor and mentee. We give an online class, and maybe could be offline next year. And this activity it start in January 2020. So last one designer will be present. Honorable guests beside Bapak Joshua, we have Miss Rosanne Summerson. Thank you, Mrs. Rosanne. She is a well-respected furniture designer from USA, and she is a former of the president of Rhode Island School of Design. She will be conclude all the event at the end of this program. And as I mentioned before, there's a mentor and judge also. Thank you, all the each mentor. I see Jared Lim today, Pak Budiono, Karina, and then mentor Pak Adimas and Ibu Ranu from HDII Jakarta, and then Abi Abdillah and Hendro as a mentor product designer. So the design brief, it should be find an innovation and uniqueness creativity solution, and judge will be based on criteria about social environment impact, research, creativity and innovation. So competing of this event, we have 10 weeks, 5 judge, 7 mentor, and 7 speakers, and 40 designers. And at the end, we have a total number of 20 designers, finalists for 8 winners. So there will be best design for furniture and interior space, and will be exhibit with AHEC, and will be manufactured also as a prototyping. Thank you for AHEC. And I thought this collaboration is develop and propose ideas, corporations between designers and industry, and they will be achieved to mutual benefit for those who involved. So thanks again to all. Looking forward to see the moment of this collaboration. We can reach out, hopefully young minds, young designers, inspiring and motivating them. So design came, hopefully show every player of this design creative industry with their own growth and with the added value to contribute. So kindly thanks to speaker who involved today. We trust everybody will enjoy the workshop and appreciate the time and effort involved by the communicate and making this workshop happen. So thank you to all, especially John and all the committee who working hard until today. So good luck.
Thank you very much, Rina.
Yeah.
For
I saw Pak Rohadi already. Pak Rohadi udah juga, and Pak Budion also join. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Mas Adi. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rina, for the thorough explanation regarding the design camp event. And also, of course, I would like to introduce and welcome Bapak Adi Nugraha, former chairman HDII Jakarta. I think Rina already said hello to Pak Adi. Where are you? Hi, Pak Adi. Hi. So, Pak Adi Nugraha, HIMKI representative, he also former of HDII Pusat, and he will be our judge for design camp. So I hear that you are in Finland now. So how is it there?
It's cold now.
Yes, it's winter, I guess. And
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
winter
it's always
and
winter. Halfway winter. Yeah.
But I'm fine.
Yes, we can see you're fine and healthy, and that's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for supporting Design Camp. Yeah. And is there anything that you would like to say for the young designers out there?
I don't think so. Rina has explained a lot.
Okay.
Just good luck for the program.
Okay, great. Thank you for the support again. And so now we shall move on to our keynote speaker. And please kindly let me introduce to Bapak Joshua Simanjutak as Senior Advisor to the Minister for Innovation and Creativity. He began his design education at the Heatherley School of Fine Arts and Central St. Martin's College of Art and Design UK with a foundation in art and design discipline. Then continued his master's studies at the Royal College of Art and London Metropolitan University. Other degrees he has received include first class honor for BA, furniture and related product design from the Ravensbourne College of Design and Communication, and the Worshipful Company of Furniture Makers Award. He also founded Karsa Design Studio before starting his career in government as Deputy Chairman of Marketing for the Indonesia Agency for Creative Economy. So, hi, Pak Joshua. Hi, Pak Joshua. Are you there? Hi.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Getting the to unmute. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Battery. How are you?
Hi. Fine.
Joshua.
Hey. Hello, John.
Long time no see.
I know. Finally, we see on the screen.
Oh, we're lucky. Yeah. Hope to see you in person soon.
Same here.
Everybody loves to see in person nowadays.
Right.
Okay. So, Pak Joshua, how are things with you? You're fine. You look healthy.
Yes, pretty
Yes.
much.
Okay,
It's
very
that
much.
time of the year, end of the year, then get busy.
Yes. Well, lucky for us to have you on here and to present insights for creative economy. So, Can you present your insights, sir?
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So may I proceed?
Yes.
Yes,
Sure.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Tri. First of all, I would like to thank you for the opportunity for being the speaker at this webinar with the title Design for Tomorrow, as I can have the opportunity to pass my greetings to a few of good friends whom I have not seen for a while. First of all, to my longtime friend, the Regional Director of AHEC Southeast Asia and Greater China, John Chen, how are you? And one of the most talented interior designer I knew for many years, the chairwoman of HDII Jakarta, Ibu Rina Renville, how are you? Been a long time, we haven't seen each other. And of course, I'd like to greet an old friend that I met many years ago while together that we taught at the ITB, HIMPI representative or design camp judge, Bapak Adi Nugraha. And I see this this young talented designer I see here, who's the chairman of HDII Jakarta, Bapak Abi Abdillah. And last but not least, Chief Inspector and Dean of Education of Grading School, National Hardwood Lumber Association USA, Mr. Dana Special. And also greetings to Pak Rohadi, Jared Lim, as also Arif Odon. Greetings to you all and also all the participants. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Shalom. Om Swastiastu. Namo Buddhaya. Salam kebajikan. Salam Indonesia Maju. So, when we discuss interior design, product design, or any subject matters of design, surely we talk about creativity. And further, when we talk about the economic side of creativity, then we talk ourselves into creative economy. Now, I would like to have a quick look at the current law in Indonesia on the creative economy, with the definition of the definition of the creative economy in the Undang-Undang Nomor 24 ya tahun 2019. That's the law of creative economy in Indonesia. Is the realization of added value from the intellectual property, which source from the creativities of the mankind based on culture, heritage, science, and technology. So here I would like to emphasize the two key words here, added value and intellectual property. Now let's have a look at the Indonesia's fast population, which dominated by the productive age. We call it the demographic bonus, which in the future it considers as a mega potential for the design sector, both interior and as well as industrial and furniture design, as there is an increased demand for better design, which actually translates to better intellectual property creation. Now at present in Indonesia, our data shows that the contribution towards Indonesia's national GDP from product design subsector has only reached 3.02 trillion rupiah and attracted approximately 30,914 workforce. So this number is actually very low in comparison to other sectors within the creative industry. Now, this is a wake-up call actually for us, especially for the government, to have a new approach within the design sectors. Now, allow me to mention my good fellow designer who is present at this event, Bapak Abi Abdillah, whom I personally thought as one of the prominent Indonesian furniture and product designer. Now, Bapak Abi has exercised the true form of being a designer through his beautifully designed chair, the Lucky's chair, which is now produced by one of the well-known high-end Italian manufacturer. And Pak Abi earns royalty through his intellectual property. So back to the keywords, intellectual property and added value. Now, Abi's design has contributed, obviously, to the Indonesia's GDP through the royalties earned. Now, this is actually the true example and the way forward for the designers to work with the industries, which is exchanged by the intellectual properties. Now, the future of the design industry in Indonesia will be relied on this kind of close collaboration between designers and manufacturers. So designers are no longer in need of making and selling the furniture themselves, but instead, the designers should be busying themselves by creating great designs for manufacturers to commercialize. Now, this ecosystem, which is actually not new in Europe, but it is new. It is something that is not built yet in Indonesia. Now, us, as for the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy, we will shift our focus in supporting the creation of added value based on intellectual property. Now, Indonesia hopes to have more designers like Pak Abi here, who are able to create intellectual property for the furniture industries and exercising the collaboration between designers and manufacturers and working together based on the creation of the intellectual property, both collaborate with manufacturers with royalty. Now, this is what the government now, Indonesian government, is now focusing, creating a new ecosystem from ideas creation to commercialization based on intellectual property. So we hope in the future we are able to push more collaboration, designers and designers and manufacturers working on the royalty base. Most of our programs were more conventional and focusing on trading of physical goods. And we will move forward to creating more programs to help designers meet with industry and work together on the royalty base. So we need to work together between government, designers, obviously academicians, media, communities. And we believe that this is the way forward for a better ecosystem in supporting the future of intellectual property creation. So with this, I conclude my speech. And thank you very much for the opportunity to share and hope that we will strive forward and Indonesia design creations will go forward globally. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Back to Ibu Tri.
Thank you, Pak Joshua. Thank you very much for today and for your great insights regarding the creative economy. And I totally agree with you that intellectual property should be more focused and increased by collaboration. So we can start now for our first speaker, right? So for our first speaker, let me introduce you to Mas Abdillah, as product designer and chairman of HDII Jakarta. So let me introduce a little bit about Abi. So he's raised in Indonesia. Abi Abdillah is a young designer who focuses on the use of natural materials, in particular rattan. For Abi, the meeting point between tradition and his ability to revolutionize his relationship with his origins and materials to find a fresh, contemporary vision. His design combines craftsmanship with the flair of the modern contemporary lifestyle. He is also the chairman, HDII Jakarta. So, hi Abi, how are you?
Hello, Badri. Can you hear me clearly?
Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. How are you today? Feeling
Yes,
great?
I'm fine. Yes. Hello, John.
Hi, how are you?
Hello,
Long
Joshua.
time no
Yes,
see
I'm
you.
fine. We're a long time no see.
Another good friend,
Hello,
you know.
Joshua.
Hi, Albi.
Yeah.
Hello,
Thanks
hello.
to Joshua introduce you to me.
Yeah.
So it's been a while for everybody to see each other, I guess. Even us, Abby.
Yes, thank you, HDII Jakarta for this really gorgeous event, because it's like a small reunion. Yeah, I can meet a lot of people that I haven't seen for quite a long time. John Chen, Pak Joshua, Burina, Pak Adi Nugraha, halo semuanya.
Okay. So, Abby, I hear that you're going to present today for a first speaker with the title of Design to Represent Culture, Heritage, and Social Identity. So
Yes.
So I'm giving you the floor to start. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mbak Tri. Thank you for the committee. Terima kasih untuk semua panitia. I would like first to say hello again to Mr. John Chen. Thank you for I think for the support of this program. Thank you also Bu Rina Renfield and HDII Jakarta to organize and arranging this program as well. Thank you once again, Pak Joshua. Halo Pak, apa kabar? Pak Joshua is my mentor as well, guru saya dalam design furniture, and I think it's brings back memories, because one of the earliest project when I worked for him is actually working with the American hardwood in Jepara. I think it's about 10 years ago, and it's really amazing experience for me to understand the materials and process and everything. And also I would like also to greet my mentor as well, Pak Adi Nugraha, and mohon izin Pak Adi, saya masukin nanti di slide-nya ini transforming tradition nih, karena cocok banget sama topik ini. Harusnya Pak Adi dapat sesi sendiri, bisa 1 semester mungkin. Jadi I'm really happy because also I think the mentors, the stakeholders of this program is also people that have I think people that I have known for quite some time, like Pak Edi Budiono with Abadi Indorona, and obviously Mbak Karina with Dika. I think some years ago we have been also working together with Dika to create some interesting pieces that I would like to share as well today. So let me try to share my screen. Okay. Ya, apakah sudah kelihatan?
Oke, Pak Abi.
Okay. So John, and I think I also see Gerard Lim also attending earlier, and I would like to also say hi. Please forgive me if I do the presentations with the combination of Indonesia and English probably. So yeah, I think the topic design for tomorrow, or design to represent cultural heritage and social identity, is something that I think is really relevant, and this is something that we have been working on as a furniture designer, and based on my experience as well, working previously in the factory, also in a design studio, in the Karsa design studio under Pak Joshua, and yeah. Especially this one, I think this research or the dissertation theme or research by Pak Adi Nugraha, which is transforming tradition, ya, atomic method di sini disebutnya. Jadi transforming tradition is something that I have been I have been trying to understand as well previously. Jadi selama saya mencoba untuk berkarya desain, terutama dalam hal furniture, satu hal yang selalu menggelitik itu adalah pertanyaan desain khas Indonesia itu yang kayak bagaimana sih gitu. Dan itu menjadi satu hal yang menurut saya sulit sekali untuk dijawab sampai ketemu materi ini nih. Waktu itu Pak Adi Nugraha share transforming tradition. Jadi di mana di situ dipecahkanlah satu metodologi yang juga berasal dari teori-teori sebelumnya yang sudah ada dan disempurnakan, ditambahkan elemen-elemen yang menyesuaikan dengan karakteristik craft atau industri furniture atau produk di Indonesia. Di antaranya di sini ada 7 komponen yang disingkat A2Mix oleh Pak Adi. Ini mohon maaf Pak Adi kalau ada yang salah ya. Ini saya juga ngambil beberapa referensi. Jadi di sini adalah artefak ya. Artefak itu maksudnya adalah objek tradisi yang mungkin sudah turun-temurun, sudah lama ada, yang kemudian akan ditransform atau akan dibuat menjadi relevan dalam hal ini. Lalu kemudian teknik ya. Teknik dalam hal ini juga satu hal yang menjadi karakter atau keunggulan di Indonesia, terutama dalam hal pekerjaan craftsmanship ya, apakah itu dengan teknik anyaman ataukah tenun dan lain segala macam, bahkan batik dalam hal ini tuh banyak sekali yang masih relate dengan craftsmanship ya, dengan buatan tangan. Dan itu mempengaruhi juga tidak hanya bagaimana mengerjakan proses dan tools, juga mesin-mesin supporting yang bagaimana membuat tadi sekali lagi produk Indonesia itu menjadi relevan. Utility dalam hal ini adalah bagaimana memenuhi kebutuhan user atau masyarakat melalui fungsi produk yang ditawarkan. Material itu jelas terdiri dari material apa saja yang digunakan untuk membuat objek atau produknya, dan sekali lagi di Indonesia ini sangat melimpah dengan material alam ya. Dalam hal ini ada juga misalnya tadi rotan, bambu, bahkan mungkin juga kayu. Tapi kadang juga kita bisa saja nanti dalam elemen-elemen ini adalah mendapat satu tantangan bagaimana ketika material itu yang kita gunakan bukan material tradisional ya, bukan material yang ada, tapi bagaimana tetap punya unsur tradition itu sendiri. Misal material yang hasil olah teknologi ya, seperti plastik misalnya, atau bahkan metal, atau bahkan material lain. Icon di sini dalam hal karakteristik sebetulnya, simbol atau misalnya karakter yang muncul, baik itu yang menjadi inspirasi dari segi motif-motif atau pola, atau misalnya sesuatu yang menunjukkan atau menguatkan aspek nuansa tradisi atau aspek kekuatan dari objek itu sendiri. Konsep dalam hal ini bagaimana reason atau alasan sejak awal produk tersebut dibuat ya. Kita juga bisa pahami banyak sekali produk-produk tradisi ya, produk-produk budaya terutama dalam hal ini itu memiliki cerita spesifik dan konsep yang muncul. Lalu shapes ya, shapes ini bisa menjadi definisi dari segi visual ya, bentuk atau physical elemen dari satu objek. Nah, ketika kita bicara lagi tadi design for tomorrow, terus bagaimana relevansi antara culture ya atau tradition dalam hal ini terkait dengan profesi kita sebagai desainer, apakah itu interior maupun desainer furniture atau desainer produk. Ini saya sekali lagi sangat terpukau lah saya bisa bilang dengan teori ini, karena ini sedikit banyak menjawab bagaimana elemen-elemen tersebut itu terhubung gitu. Di satu sisi terkadang satu elemen menjadi lebih kuat dibandingkan elemen yang lainnya sehingga memunculkan karakter tradition yang kemudian sudah dibuat menjadi relevan atau transform menjadi sesuatu yang lebih kontemporer, itu menjadi terjawab. Contoh misalnya dalam hal ini dalam diagram ini ya, di sini disebutkan ditampilkan dalam diagram ini adalah artefak atau objek atau produknya itu relevan atau terkait sekali dengan elemen-elemen lain yang tadi disebutkan ya. Ada material, utility, teknik, kemudian juga shapes, icon, konsep dan lain sebagainya. Dan kita bisa lihat di lingkaran paling luarnya ini faktor-faktor yang bisa mempengaruhi dan membedakan gitu ya. Elemen yang sebelah kiri ini adalah misalnya kalau misalnya elemen ekonominya misalnya nuansanya dorongannya lebih besar, maka itu menjadi produk mass production. Tapi kemudian ketika ada teori-teori terhadap misalnya pendekatan atau nuansa-nuansa tertentu yang lebih lebih mengarah kepada aspek user atau misalnya lingkungan dan lain segala macam, di mana aspek desain itu menjadi lebih berperan. Nah, ini satu hal yang perlu sekali dipelajari karena bisa menjawab bagaimana kita sebagai desainer di masa sekarang itu melaksanakan conducting this transform process, how to make the tradition or the object of cultural process become more relevant. And this brings back memories again, which is also involving most of the peoples here. A workshop program that we held under HDII, Himpunan Desainer Mebel Indonesia, or Indonesia Furniture Designers Association, which is about 8 years ago. There's Pak Adi Nugraha, there's Cerot Lim, there's Pak Joshua, Pak Bambang Kartono, which is the chairman of the HDMI at the time, and this program is also supported by AHEC. So we switch the M on the atomics. We switch the M. We switch the material, not using the local materials, but using what the materials that AHEC are providing. But then we still try to trigger or to inspire the designers to work to identify what is the object that they would like to create, that also still have the sense of locality, especially of the Jepara cultural identity. That's why the project was named Hands of Jepara. Jadi waktu itu kita undang Cerot Lim sebagai desainer internasional yang banyak sekali bekerja dengan perusahaan Indonesia sebetulnya. Sangat menarik nanti ketika ikutan design camp, ya, beliau sebagai mentor, Cerot Lim as the mentor would be really inspiring because he has worked with many important furniture brands, actually furniture manufacturers that are based in Indonesia. And di sana salah satu pematerinya Pak Adi Nugraha, ya, jadi beliau sendiri tuh yang menerjemahkan Atomix itu tadi, menjelaskan Atomix itu tadi. Dan di sini kita bisa lihat Jepara memang sudah terkenal dengan craftsmanship, atau terutama dalam hal ini ukir-ukiran yang sangat-sangat intricate, sangat-sangat detail, dan membuat Jepara juga terkenal sebagai kota craft, ya, atau kota ukir, ya, salah satu yang terbaik di Indonesia bahkan di dunia. Tapi memang selalu saja ada isu ketika misalnya sesuatu yang dibuat dengan teknik yang sangat tradisional ini, bagaimana kemudian membuat produk-produk tersebut tuh relevan untuk nuansa interior yang lebih modern misalnya. Nah, di sini satu blending atau satu pemahaman antara bagaimana desainer itu memahami kebutuhan ruang dan bagaimana memprovide lewat produk yang didesain, itu jadi salah satu key point yang harus diterjemahkan oleh para peserta. Jadi peserta itu diajak untuk melaksanakan workshop langsung gitu di tempat. Ya, mungkin ini sedikit gambaran desain camp, barangkali teaser nanti, mudah-mudahan. Syukur-syukur memang bisa offline, ya, kondusif, ya, untuk bisa offline akan bisa seseru ini mudah-mudahan. Jadi ada kesempatan untuk keliling, ada kesempatan untuk ada informasi terkait material apa sih yang digunakan, memahami teknik, dan kemudian juga diterjemahkan menjadi produk. Jadi ini adalah beberapa hasilnya. Jadi kita bisa lihat tetap ada contoh misalnya karya kursi dari Ratih Wulansari ini tetap menggunakan teknik ukiran, tapi polanya sudah sangat geometris, sudah sangat modern, ya. Jadi dan ini tetap dikerjakan dengan tangan, jadi bukan dengan CNC atau mesin. Atau misalnya konsol, ya, meja konsol dari Muhammad Rifki, elemen ukiran itu ada, tapi secara istilahnya garis bentuknya itu sangat-sangat geometris, ya. Jadi bukan, kadang-kadang kan kalau misalnya kita melihat produk-produk ukiran itu, ukiran ada di sisi bagian luar, ya, sisi bagian luar, sehingga bentuknya menjadi sangat-sangat ornamental. Tapi di sini adalah ukiran itu dibentuk sebagai aksen. Untuk polanya juga sebetulnya masih semi tradisional, motif yang digunakan seperti motif parang batik, ya. Tapi secara bentuk konsol juga menjadi sangat modern. Dan yang lebih ekstrim lagi adalah hasil yang dibuat oleh Arfan, ya. Dia pendekatannya industrial, dia ngelihat waste dari kayu-kayu proses yang dikerjakan ini cukup banyak, ya, sehingga kemudian dikumpulkan, tapi tekniknya tetap handmade gitu. Tekniknya tetap diukir untuk membuat bentuk yang sangat-sangat unik ini juga tetap menggunakan tangan. Jadi inilah kurang lebih program yang pernah kita jalankan bersama. We have been conducting this program together with AHEC, with HDII, the Indonesia Furniture Designers Associations, to identify the current topic, which is still relevant until now, how to represent the culture, how design could make the culture being more relevant. And I don't know if Pak Edi Budiono is still here. I would like to also greet him, because this is a project that we held in 2016 together with an exhibition, mosaic exhibition. We conduct this workshop working with American wood veneer. So Pak Edi is and his company is a provider of veneer and wood materials, and they have issues that short, I think less than 1 meter veneer is becoming waste. They cannot sell it, they cannot use it. Jadi veneer itu kan gulungan ya, roll panjang, dan veneer pendek yang di bawah 1 meter itu rata-rata tidak bisa diapa-apakan. Nah, kita coba explore. We try to explore with young designers, with students. We conduct this workshop in Bandung 5 years ago. We encourage them to try to apply certain techniques like laser cutting, or maybe plating, or try to make it into interesting shapes. Dan hasil workshopnya juga karena mereka menyentuh material langsung ya, jadi menghasilkan modul-modul studi yang juga sangat menarik, dan ini menjadi penting ya kita desainer itu menjadi tangible. Nanti sesi berikutnya Chris akan cerita intangible-nya sangat seru ya. Jadi desainer ketika tangible, ketika dia menyentuh material akan mendapatkan informasi sehingga memberikan inspirasi sebetulnya. Kita lihat ada studi-studi di sini, eksplorasi pattern, pola, dan hasil workshopnya waktu itu, hasil desainnya yang kita pamerkan itu juga sangat menarik. Jadi veneer itu menurut Ricky, desainer yang menciptakan lampshade ini, memiliki efek translucent ketika diberikan cahaya, sehingga pola plating atau lipatan-lipatan yang dia kerjakan itu menghasilkan efek yang menarik. Dan ini ada seri set meja ya yang didesain oleh Dian Gladiola, salah satu peserta pada waktu itu, yang bermain eksplorasi motif veneer ya, motif veneer yang dipotong manual, ada yang dipotong dengan laser cutting, dikombinasikan beberapa, I think some of American veneers, I think they use cherry, they use walnut and beech probably. Mungkin Pak Edi kalau masih ingat waktu itu apa aja. Jadi dikombinasikan menjadi pola-pola yang sangat menarik. Dan ini mungkin sedikit banyak saya ingin share tentang portfolio singkat ya, apa saja yang saya pernah kerjakan sebagai in-house designer. Saya pernah bekerja di satu pabrik di Cikupa, Tangerang, di mana di situ saya belajar bagaimana melakukan service ya sebagai suatu perusahaan kepada klien atau buyers. Jadi desainer tuh harus mengerti kemauan buyers dan harus punya kesadaran atau pemahaman terhadap pasar yang tinggi dan juga high marketability. Di sinilah peran desainer, ego desainer itu diredam untuk aspek marketability itu, dan itu menjadi satu poin yang penting ya. Jadi tidak hanya bagaimana meyakinkan produk itu bisa diterima di pasar, tapi juga efisiensi dalam hal proses produksi menjadi sangat berpengaruh. Lalu ketika menjadi freelance studio based designer, disinilah menjadi peluang atau opportunity untuk bisa berkolaborasi ya, diantaranya dengan ada beberapa brand seperti Bika, Vivere, dan juga Capellini. Itu adalah peran kami sebagai satu studio, sebagai desainer yang memberikan service desain pada perusahaan tersebut. Dan ini juga harus versatile. Kita harus punya pemahaman terhadap karakter si perusahaan itu dengan spesifik juga, karena masing-masing punya target pasar yang berbeda, punya positioning yang berbeda, sehingga harus menghasilkan desain-desain yang cocok dengan karakter perusahaan tersebut. Tapi di luar itu juga kami mempunyai satu brand yang kemudian membuat kita punya peluang untuk eksplorasi lebih bebas ya, peluang untuk eksplorasi secara bentuk, eksplorasi secara teknik dan lain segala macam, dan itu kita sendiri yang menjual kasarnya desainnya. We have our own production or marketing control with higher margin, but with higher risk and investment as well. Jadi artinya ketika kita mencoba untuk memasarkan produk kita sendiri harus punya atau harus bisa memahami resiko tersebut untuk promosi, marketing dan lain segala macam. Sebagai brand, ini brandnya Studio HDII, dan kita bekerja dengan beberapa material, terutama memang material lokal dalam hal ini rotan ya, dan beberapa material lain. And we work with local manufacturers as well. Salah satunya ini pretzel bench. The study is about I think the pliability of rattan. Yeah. So rattan is really flexible and able to be made into certain kind of organic shapes, but it has challenges. It has problems in terms of I think structure-wise and everything. Jadi rotan itu walaupun dia lentur, dia punya batasan-batasan terhadap kekuatan, sehingga saya mencoba mencari satu modul yang bisa menemukan bagaimana modul itu menjadi supporting struktur, tapi juga faktor estetiknya juga. And it resulted into this kind of product, the pretzel bench, which has been appreciated by Furniture Design Award Singapore as an honorable mention 2011, and Gwangju Design Biennale in South Korea in 2013, and also Scala Plus Most Inspiring Furniture Design. And ini ada masuk drama Korea. It's featured at the K-drama in an episode, which is at the time the bench are being exhibited at Dongdaemun Design Plaza, which was designed by late Zaha Hadid, and they actually conduct a special furniture exhibitions. If you see, alongside my products are two chairs created by another renowned Asian designer, Kenneth Kobunpe from Philippines. And we work with colors, we work with details. Yeah. So that's what we try to do in terms of making the rattan a traditional material, traditional technique into more modern and more relevant. And the same way we did with this design, which is inspired by the honeycomb structures. That's why we name it Madu. Madu means honey in Indonesia. And we try to explore and work it into certain kind of shapes, quite intricate, quite difficult to make, but it resulted really nice ya. Menjadi satu desain yang punya karakter, dan dalam hal ini menunjukkan atau menonjolkan satu material yang tradisional dengan satu proses yang bisa dibilang handmade, bisa menghasilkan satu produk yang punya kompleksitas tertentu. Dan ini juga masuk shortlist di InDesign Magazine Awards di Australia, dan sudah kita coba juga melakukan beberapa promotion, exhibition, diantaranya di pameran di IFFS Singapore, Asian Star Showcase di tahun 2014, Maison Objet Asia di tahun 2015 di Marina Bay Sands, dan effort kita untuk menghasilkan nuansa lokal yang apa namanya relevan ya. This transfer traditions has been appreciated with I think some acknowledgement, both local and international appreciations, awards and exhibition. Dan ini satu kunci penting ya, kolaborasi. This is one of the most important key as a designer is to collaborate, because it's really difficult to survive if you are only work on your own. Yeah, if you do your own design, you create your own brand and you try to market it on your own. It's really difficult, and that's the issue of being a furniture designer in Indonesia, because you need to handle everything on your own, and what I mean is with internally on your team, yeah, with all the limitations. So being able to collaborate with certain brands, it's really important, and this is one of our early collaboration and work when I was still the product developer and designers in Karsa. So I don't know if Pak Joshua is still here, but I think if you ever heard nowadays a lot of marketplace or furniture retailers creating like Japandi or Scandi brand, I think Pak Joshua is really revolutionary because more than 10 years ago, he already have this kind of Scandinavian, I think a little pun from Scandinavian and Asian approach, which is Scandinavian design has already known as a highly crafted manufactured or furniture, wooden furniture products. And what Pak Joshua gave us as his team at the time to create product with this Scandinavian approach, which is highly manufactured product, but still have the Asian sense. So if you could see this product have a sense of I think both Scandinavian design and also some details from like a traditional Ming chair from China, for example. And at the time it was made with a combination of materials, which is including, I think, solid oak on this picture, American oak, with mahogany in the colored part. And yeah, we painted several colors, I think red and white at the time. Yeah, just to mention merah putih, red and white as a Indonesian sense or local sense. And also this is the all natural. Yeah. So the darker part of it is actually made with local rosewood, yeah, sonokeling, kayu lokal, still combined with the solid oak and bent ply with oak veneer. Jadi yeah, it gives the locality aspect combination with the Scandinavian approach. And our next collaboration, we work with Vivere, one of the most prominent furniture brand in Indonesia. And we work numerous collection, a lot of items for indoor, both indoor, outdoor, made with rattan metals and also combination with, I think this is polypropylene for the outdoor, the synthetic ropes. So we still work focusing on the craftsmanship, on the highly crafted products, the details, and yeah, if you can see also the details that we try to apply it on the upholstery, how they applied it, attach it in the rattan frame, and how we combine it with the certain structures to make it more contemporary. And it has been appreciated also with some awards. And the latest is, I think this year, Good Design Indonesia from the Ministry of Trade, two of my recent design for Vivere. And this is also another, I think, yeah, something that I haven't really distributed by Capelli since. Jadi sudah dipasarkan oleh mereka. Dan ini beberapa detailnya. Dan juga berhasil meraih penghargaan Good Design Indonesia of the Year ya. Jadi Best of the Best waktu itu di tahun 2017 diapresiasi langsung oleh salah satu owner perusahaan furniture yang kemudian sekarang menjadi presiden kita. Dan juga diapresiasi G-Mark Japan 2018 Good Design Award Jepang. Dan berikutnya adalah kolaborasi dengan Dika ya. Ini menarik sekali karena dari semua apa namanya istilahnya brand yang kita pernah that I have been worked with, Dika I think considered one of the most luxurious brands in Jakarta or in Indonesia, and it is really great honor for me to be able to work with them as well. And still with the same approach, with the same thought, yeah, how we could still have this luxury with still locality or local sense. For example, this console table, we made it with American walnut, and if you can see the pattern, it is really intricate. It's made both by machine through the CNC process, but also by hand, yeah, to create the organic effect. And this maze console table was inspired by the pattern of maze corals, ya. Jadi karang coral reefs yang ada di Indonesia. Jadi ini kita coba apply untuk jadi satu fungsi yang spesifik sebagai satu console table dalam hal ini. Dan ini this also made with solid oak. This is really interesting proportion, if I have to say, because I think there is a sense of American classic on the chairs, on the designs, through not only through the wingback aspects, but also the thickness of the cushions and some of the profiles that we use. But in terms of proportions, it's really quite low, especially on the lounge chairs, because we try to market it in Asia. So jadi ada beberapa aspek yang menentukan, ya, desain yang nuansanya di sini masih ada nuansa American klasik, tapi juga proporsinya tuh lebih Asia. Ditambah lagi juga dikombinasikan dengan motif-motif, dalam hal ini tenun, ya, dari bika kain, yang juga sangat memberikan efek mengangkat image tenun menjadi satu hal yang sangat menarik dan luar biasa menurut saya. This is the other thing. This is made with welding of stainless steel with rose gold plated, combined with solid oak, if I'm not mistaken, and American walnut as well. Jadi ini surprisingly sangat luar biasa rapi sekali craftsmanship-nya, ya. Kalau misalnya kita lihat itu kombinasinya, kan di sini masih ada sense. Saya sebagai desainer yang lebih banyak bekerja dengan material tradisional, ya, seperti rotan atau misalnya bambu. Di sini ada efek seperti anyaman, ya, motif weaving. Tapi sebetulnya itu dari hasil stainless yang dilas dan sangat luar biasa rapi, ya, dan sangat luar biasa kuat gitu di sini. Jadi meskipun materialnya tipis, ya, kecil, tapi sangat luar biasa kuat. Dan ini ada beberapa. This is, I think, one of the most important also to understand as a furniture designer and to collaborate together as well, because as a furniture designer we are part of an entire ecosystem together with interior designers and architects. So it is important to understand, as a designer, we always want to create something beautiful or artistic or iconic. But then we also need to understand what is the preference of the interiors, what is the preference of the projects, how our products or our designs being relevant on the not only for the market, not only for the users, but for the environment or the interior architectural surroundings. Jadi contoh ini, ya, ini desain kita yang coba diaplikasikan di ruangan, di satu ruang studio atau kantor di Studio Giri, ya, di Bintaro. Dan juga di Ongchen Puang di Bali, di mana still able to blend nicely with the surroundings, ya. Bisa berfungsi juga dengan baik, bisa membantu mengangkat visual ruangan juga dengan baik. Ini lagi desain kita yang lain, Madu Lounge Chair, Bella Chair, yang sempat atau sekarang ada di lobi di Art Hotel Jogja, ya. Ini karya dari Domicilium Studio, dan it brings characters to the environment that already strong, actually, with all these details, with all these ornaments, but, you know, emphasizing Art Hotel as an artistic hotel, ya. Jadi bisa memberikan komplimen terhadap ruangan juga. Dan ini desainnya untuk Karsa, ya, diantaranya ada masuk di project dari Mas Wiyoga Nurbiasa, arsitek, ya, dan kelihatan sekali komposisinya sangat minimalistik, nuansa tadi, ya, Scandinavian atau Scandinavian itu menjadi sangat masuk. Tapi ketika ada satu komposisi yang dengan ornamen atau warna yang dikombinasikan yang lebih dark gitu, dikomposisikan juga oleh Mas Eko Priarseno dalam hal ini, ID interior juga ternyata blended nicely gitu, karena memang itu tadi desainnya tuh with this inspired both Scandinavian and Asian styles. It is actually more suitable or more versatile with many both minimalist or contemporary environment. Ini nuansa desain kita juga untuk Vere. Kita bisa lihat how the products, how the items complement the interior. Jadi bagaimana produk itu bisa berinteraksi dengan nuansa ruang atau interior dengan sangat baik dalam hal ini ya. Bagaimana desain kami dikomposisikan dari karya desainer lain di dalam satu komposisi ruang interior dan masih bisa tidak hanya memberikan visual pleasures, but also function, terutama itu yang paling penting. This is also with the Capellini. So kursinya awalnya saya bayangkan untuk kursi makan gitu ya, tapi ternyata sama mereka juga dibuat sebagai multi-purpose chair, bisa dibuat kursi hadap, bisa untuk kursi lounge, dikasih bantal dan lain segala macam. And this is obviously how Dika set up our designs on their showrooms, on their interiors, and how this bagaimana kita bisa lihat positioning Dika ya really premium, luxurious, and how our products able to also work with this premise. I think that's all from me. Sekian dari saya, mudah-mudahan suara saya cukup terdengar dan bisa bisa didengar oleh semuanya. Thank you once again. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Abi. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks very much for your thorough, inspiring presentation, especially your efforts in design and achievements, both local and international. So before we go to the next speaker, let me summarize a little bit about Abi's presentation. So the first question was about what is Indonesian specific traditional design? So it's about like how the transforming tradition. So the transforming tradition has factors such as the artifacts, techniques, utility, materials, icon, concept, and shape, and is based on atomics method. And workshops are actually conducted for explorations of materials, techniques in creating inspirational designs. And I think the main thing here that designers should adapt to client's brief, either it's personal or is it a manufacturing company, also accepted in the market and industry. And I think what's most important is designers should be open to collaboration, either with other design fields or manufacturers and companies. So thanks again, Mas Abi. And so for our next speaker, let me introduce Mr. Dana Spessert as Chief Inspector and Dean of Education of Grading School, National Hardwood Lumber Association in USA. Dana Spessert has served as the Chief Inspector of the National Hardwood Lumber Association since September 2010. Where his responsibilities range from managing a staff of 7 inspectors to rules interpretations. Dana has traveled to over 30 countries, teaching and representing the NHLA hardwood lumber inspection rules. He began his career of choice on a family-owned sawmill and has been an inspector of hardwood lumber for over 30 years. His experience in the hardwood industry far exceeds his years. So, as there are 12 hours difference between Jakarta and Rhode Island, unfortunately, he will not be here, but we will watch a recording of his presentation regarding Introduction to Sustainable American Hardwood Lumber and the Impact on Future Design. So, let us play the video, please.
education for the NHLA, or the National Hardwood Lumber Association. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about American hardwoods, how they're inspected, and also give some examples of some great architecture and different projects were built using American hardwoods. So to start with, just to give you a little background about wood, humans are like American hardwood trees in three significant and profound ways. They are mostly water. They have a peak lifespan of about 80 years. And they are all unique. If you design with these unique characteristics in mind, rather than with the idea that all hardwood looks exactly the same, you will create spaces that will never be duplicated anywhere in the world. So just to give you a little information about the difference between different types of wood, hardwoods, what we refer to as hardwood, are woods that are produced from broadleaf trees known as angiosperms. They lose their leaves in winter. This is a white oak tree in this picture, or Quercus alba. A softwood tree is produced from coniferous. It's produced wood out of coniferous trees, cone bearing, referred to as gymnosperms. Softwood does not necessarily refer to the hardness of the lumber. These trees are known as evergreens. This is just a picture from a random area of forest. I believe it's probably in West Virginia in the Appalachian region. And that forest at one point was all cut out. So you can see now there's lots of trees. This is up close, and if you're in the forest, this is what the forest would look like. So the U.S. hardwoods is definitely sustainable, and the volume of U.S. hardwoods over the past 50 years has more than doubled, and the area of forest has increased by 18%. This is due to the diligent practice of sustainable forestry and selective harvesting. One could logically ask, if American hardwoods are sustainable managed, why isn't all American hardwoods certified? Well, many of the 4 million private landowners who control most of the resource are unaware of certification. It is a process they'd have to go through, and they only maybe cut their timber once in a lifetime, and they would have to do a lot of extra work just to track it. And they know their forest is sustainable, and they don't really believe that they would have to do that. This is a picture, a map of the U.S., and the green area you see is the private forest land. Some of the areas you see in the lighter color in the middle, that is non-forest land. That's more farming, a lot of farming in that area. And the public forest is the brown or the orange color in the map. So that's the public forest. So you can see there's a lot of privately held forest land. Hardwood management, selection, harvesting, and natural regeneration. A lot of people don't realize that hardwood trees they regenerate on their own. We cut the trees out, we cut certain trees that we like. This would be a forester marking the trees that would be taken out. They'll mark the stem and the stump. And when the timber feller takes the tree out, they'll know that they took the correct one by the mark on the stump. And you can see a full-grown tree on the right-hand side as well. Less than 1% of American hardwood entering the world market could be considered as illegally harvested. There was a study done in 2008 called Seneca Creek Study, and they researched and peer-reviewed a white paper on this and realized that there's less than 1% that could be considered illegally harvested, and it's been re-reviewed. I believe it was in 2017, but it's been updated recently. The U.S. has less than 1/10 of the world's hardwood forest, but it is the largest hardwood lumber producer in the world, satisfying nearly 1/4 of the world's appetite for hardwoods. For every American hardwood tree that is removed from the forest, 1.9 trees take its place naturally. As you cut the tree out, the canopy opens up, lets the more light in. So you have small seedlings that's just started growing. They will grow up towards the sunlight and they'll mature into mature trees at some point. These are some pictures, some really nice red oak. This is a red oak log here, but just to show you the log after it's taken from the forest before it gets processed into lumber at a sawmill. That's a red oak. Hard maple. This is American black walnut. This is American cherry, and you can see cherry grows in the colder climate. That's snow on around that log. And there's a pile of logs what would be referred to as either veneer quality or would be possibly cut into quarter sawn, which I'll explain in a minute. American hardwood sawmills saw logs in two ways. They either plain saw it and they could quarter saw it. And the difference between the two, quarter sawing, they actually take the log, a round log, and make it into 4 quarters. As you can see, here's 2 quarters of the log. And when they saw it, they saw from the inside of the log towards the outer side. That creates this nice straight grain. And you see what a lot of people refer to as fleck. It's the modulary rays in there that really gives it good character. But you get quarter sawn and or rift sawn, which rift sawn would not show this character when there would just be straight grain. Now this slide, it shows what a lot of people refer to as cathedral grain here on the left, but it's more what we refer to as plain sawn. So they saw from the outside of the log, and they begin to square the log up and keep taking boards all the way down to where they get the heart or the cant, you could call it, in the center. So kiln drying, the United States hardwood industry does an excellent job of kiln drying timber. One should always specify timber from the United States to be kiln dried to 6 to 8% moisture content. Hardwoods need to be dried in order to make them more stable and to make it, to create the environment so they don't shrink and swell. Remember, wood was a living organism, and as it dries, it can expand if it gets wet. So we typically dry it down to 6 to 8% moisture content before making any products out of it. And this is a kiln where we would dry the hardwoods. You can see the lumber sitting in there. These doors are shut. Each section you see down through here are doors, and behind there's a chamber full of lumber. There'd be several different kilns drying different species at any given time. This is another map of the U.S., and it shows the growing regions of the U.S. So you in the blue area here, you would call that the southern part of the U.S. The timber grows a little faster, it'll be a little bigger, but it'll also vary more into color, but there's a lot more timber because it grows faster. You've got the yellow area here in the middle, and that's called the Appalachian region, which has a lot of really good qualities. It'll be some bigger timber, also varying species. You get into the red area in the north and over towards the central U.S. That area is called the northern. It'll have more consistent quality, but maybe lesser supply at times. The green area here is where most of your walnut is grown. You can get about any species that we're going to talk about in all these areas. It's just going to be more abundant in some than others. There's a little bit out here on the west coast. That's where you'll see red alder come from and some other maples that grow on the west coast. Now this is makeup of the forest. This is the species breakdown. We have red oak makes up about 35% of the forest. So we do like to sell a lot of red oak. White oak, still a pretty large portion. You know, this is 15% of a very large forest. Tulip wood, or poplar, yellow poplar is called in some areas, that makes up about 9%. The maples together, the hard and soft, are about 11%. And that walnut I'm talking about is like 1% of this other area right here. So here's a picture of close-up of surfaced, cleaned up American red alder. Here's a couple projects that was made out of red alder. This is some American ash. It's been very popular all over the world for many years. Very easy to work machine. And so here's some different products that were made from ash. Here's American cherry. It is a red, it has a red tone to it. American cherry will get a little darker as time goes by. As you can see here, there's a couple different projects made out of American cherry. It's a beautiful species. American hickory and or pecan, those two get mixed together, but it's a very dense species. Grows pretty well through the Midwestern states. This is a floor made out of hickory. It has a large variation between the color of sapwood and heartwood. American hard maple. We use it a lot in the U.S. for gymnasium floors. There's a conference table made out of American hard maple. American soft maple, it's not as, the name is a misnomer. It's not as soft as it sounds. It's just a little bit softer than the hard maple we just talked about. It's actually a silver maple or it could be other types, but red maple, but it's not necessarily that much softer. Here's a project made out of soft maple. You can take the maples and stain them and make them about any color you'd like. Now, American red oak, again, it was 35% of our forest. It's what we use a lot in different items all over the U.S. There's a part of a table, as you can see. Here's some hardwood floors made out of red oak. It's a denser species, so it works very well for floors, has a lot of grain patterns, so it's easy. I mean, it really takes stain well, looks beautiful about any different color variation. American white oak. White oak has a lot of good uses, and one of the probably more popular uses in the world is we make staves or whiskey barrels or wine barrels out of white oak. It has closed pores in it, so when you can make a barrel, the alcohol doesn't run out. Makes beautiful wall paneling and or flooring. It's a fairly dense species as well. Some more projects made out of white oak. Here's American tulip wood. This is yellow poplar, it could be called, but American tulip wood. It has a greenish to yellow color to the heart, and the sapwood or the outer part of the log tree has a whiter, more milky white color. And this is an American walnut. It's a dark, rich brown. And here's a couple projects made out of walnut. It's our most expensive domestic species, although white oak is getting a lot closer in value. So many years ago, the National Hardwood Lumber Association was formed, and it was formed to establish a set of grading rules or standards for the evaluation of hardwoods, which each successively lower grade, more character is allowed in the board. The grading standards have, like I said, been around since 1898, been around a long time. We have a school located here in Memphis, Tennessee, where I'm located today, for training students how to grade hardwoods, and they work in hardwood, either purchasing or manufacturing operations globally. So here's some examples of FAS red oak, and FAS is our highest grade in our standard. And as you can see, these boards are fairly clear. They look pretty good on this face, the face meaning one side of the board, but they don't have to be this clear, and I'll explain that just a little bit. So the requirements for FAS, the minimum size board is 6 inches by 8 feet, and minimum size cuttings can be 4 by 5 or 3 by 7. And a cutting is simply a portion of the board. So we take a section that could be used for moldings or any other product. Those are measured by an inspector, and they have to be at least 4 inches by 5 feet long or 3 inches wide by 7 feet long. And the most important thing to know that FAS only has to be 83 1/3% clear. You ought to understand that the grading standard is of a rough lumber. This is not finished wood when we ship it out of the US typically. It's in raw form, so you could make any products you would like out of it. Just hope this is to help you understand what grade you would want to specify for a product. So this is an example of how we would grade an FAS board. It's 8 inches wide, it's 12 feet long. There's some character here that we don't want to use in our product. So we come over here 2 feet, we have 10 feet long, 8 inches wide. That's the area we would need to get an FAS. Another example below here is 8 inches wide, 5 feet long. So we can get another 5 feet down here. Those are both at least the minimum size. There's enough when you add these two together to have 83 1/3% clear. Now these are pictures of number 1 common, which is the next grade down. Number 1 common, you can see it has a little more character in it, a few more what we call defects. Just a little less clear area on the board. The prices changed on the lumber based on these grades. So this would be a little bit lesser price than the FAS grade we just talked about. So the number 1 common requirements, the minimum size board is a 3 inch wide by 4 feet long. So it's half the size of an FAS board. Those cuttings that you're allowed to take when you're getting your grade are 3 by 3 or 4 by 2. So they're smaller pieces, but you only need to have 66 2/3% of the whole piece clear, as long as you still use these size cuttings or measurement areas that we're going to use. Here's an example of an 8 inch wide board, 12 feet long. Has a couple of different areas that we don't want in our clear pieces. 6 foot piece here and a 4 foot piece here that's only 6 inches wide. This one's full width. You add up the volume from these two, and it would be 66 2/3 or more. Now, some of your FAS boards could have this type of grade on the back. Number 1 common, that would be an F1F, an FAS 1 face, or it could be a Selects. Now, here's the next grade down is a number 2 common. You can see there's a little more character on these boards. Some of the character might be useful in some products. The 2 common requirements, same minimum size board of 3 inches by 4 feet. And you only have 1 minimum size cutting of 3 inches by 2 feet, but you only need 50% usable on that piece. Now, I said usable because the other 2 grades we talked about, they needed to be clear on the poor side of the board or the not as good side of the board. 2A common needs to be clear. A 2A common is 1 grade that's clear, just like we were talking about in the other 2 grades. 2B common is sound, so it can have defects that do not affect the integrity or the strength of the piece that you're going to use for your product. 2B common is commonly used for rustic or antique look. 2A common, you can see it's got smaller pieces, and you're allowed to take more of them out of the board in order to get the grade. So here's some American hardwoods in application. As I go along, I'll explain some of the grades that maybe work well for some of these projects, but then I'll talk about some really nice areas to look at. So Kaufman Center for the Performing Arts in Kansas City, quarter sawn red oak. There's the outside of it, and the inside is just gorgeous. Look at all this quarter sawn oak used all around for the flooring, for the seats, for everything in this place. And you can see a little bit more up close. There's a little rift and quarter. Those tend to go together quite a bit. A lot of straight grain. It made some beautiful project. The Barnes Museum in Philadelphia, quarter sawn white oak. Got the straight grain in the floor here. This is some parquet type floor. This is white oak flooring and some of these panels on the side and the baseboard around the room. Beautiful American hardwoods in the flooring. So the Janka scale measures the force required to an 11.28 millimeter steel ball into wood to half the ball's diameter. So as you put it in a press, you push it down to the half the depth, and then they measure how much pounds of force it took. So if you look on the left, hickory is our hardest species it's commercially available. Hard maple, again, it's also very, very dense or very hard. White oak is, they're pretty close. Red oak's a close cousin right behind it. I would say that soft maple will be right in here. It's not on the chart, but it's going to be just under red oak. American walnut, as you see, is a little bit less hardness on the hardness scale, and black cherry just a little bit softer than that. So what you might think is, well, American walnut and black cherry may not want to use them for a high volume area for flooring, but they would make beautiful panels in other areas. But there's also some very good coatings out there today that you can put on that helps them to last a long time. So here you can see some flooring, different projects, even made a table out what I would consider, or a bar here out of what I would call a flooring. So here's some interiors. This is the Oslo Opera House made out of American white oak. A few pictures of this, all white oak that you see here. This is the Hyatt headquarters in Chicago, in the US. American walnut, dark, rich color. You see they use some here on the floor. They must have put some good coating on that. And you can see some of the different rooms, balconies and things. The Virgin Atlantic Lounge, American walnut as well. Beautiful architecture here. Nice plank flooring, wide pieces for this base. There is a larger picture of it. Copenhagen Opera House, American white oak and hard maple. Beautiful. All these areas, the flooring. So the Rome Auditorium, American cherry, Renzo Piano Building Workshop. Cherry has very good acoustical properties, so that's why they made these roof ceiling panels, the background, the backdrop, the chairs, everything in there is made out of cherry. The floors, the walls here, steps. Back to the chairs. And the staircase was done for the London Design Festival of American Tulip Wood. Beautiful design. Furniture. So David Tubridge chooses to work with American ash and walnut because of its sustainability and its unique bending qualities. It's pretty unique pieces. See, these smaller pieces could be all used out of lower grade material. Now the long pieces probably want to use FAS if they needed to be the full length. You could use 2 common for some of the smaller pieces. That could be made easily out of number 1 common. American furniture built to last for centuries. Quarter sawn American white oak. So really good looking furniture here. Built solid. More furniture. So American furniture built to last for centuries. Thomas Moser, American cherry. This desk and the chair both made out of cherry. This whole 2 pieces could be made out of 1 common maybe even some 2 common, lower grade. This pieces could be easily made out of 2 common. There's Japanese heirloom furniture, American white oak. This could be a 1 common or 2 common product, which is primarily what it's used for. 1 common and 2 common have historically been used to make furniture, and the 2 common and the lower grades are typically used for flooring. Zuster Furniture, Melbourne, Australia, American white oak. Zuster Furniture has chosen to use American white oak above all other commercially available species because it is sustainable, strong, and beautiful. You can see that coffee table, another small table. You can make your designs deliverable by utilizing the educational resources available through www.americanhardwoods.org. And with that, I'd like to ask for any questions, and I thank you for listening.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dana. And if there are any questions, please write in the Q&A or questions and answer chat box with your name and email address. And we will forward those questions to Mr. Dana and to reply back with his answers. So now for our third and last but not least speaker, please let me introduce you to Christopher Tanihaha as interior designer at an Instituto Marangoni alumni. So, and we would also like to say thank you to Instituto Marangoni for their contribution to this webinar. Christopher Tanihaha started his career in interior design in 2017. He studied at Instituto Marangoni in Italy and was eventually recruited at the well-known furniture company, Capellini. In early 2020, Christopher decided to go home and start his career in Indonesia. Arriving in Indonesia, January 2020, the pandemic hit and made almost all businesses in Indonesia and the world stop. Seeing a chance, Christopher then went to create 2 new business lines in addition to his design studio. Today, these 3 businesses are thriving. So let's just head to Chris. So Chris, hi, where are you? Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? I'm good. I'm good.
Great. So excited to share your knowledge, experience, and thoughts.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. So Chris will be presenting an interaction between interior and furniture design. So I'll give you the floor to you.
Sure. Thank you very much for the chance. So before I start, I think I want to say hello and thank you for everyone who have supported me and invited me to be the speaker for today. I want to say hello firstly to Mr. Joshua, if he's here. And then I also want to thank you for Ibu Rina as the chairman of HDII Jakarta for inviting me here. And then I also want to say hello to Mr. John Chan as the regional director of AHEC. And then also I want to say hi to Mr. Adi Nugraha from HIMKI representative. And also I want to say hi to Mr. Abi Abdillah. So I think I haven't met any of you guys in real life, but I hope soon we can meet in person and get to know each other as well. So I think it's best for me to start by introducing myself, since I'm the youngest here and I'm not that famous as the other speakers. So simple introduction, guys. My name is Christopher Tanihaha. I used to study, take a master in interior design in Instituto Marangoni, Milano in October 2017 to July 2018. And then now back in Indonesia, I have 3 companies now, which is working in the architecture, interior design, and furniture, which is the name is Design by Tani. And then the second one is I'm the co-founder and CEO of Creative Complex. It's an educational platform for creative industry. And then last but not least, I have a company as well with my partner. It's named Some Studio. It's a tech company specialized in augmented reality, virtual reality, and 3D CGI. And I just also signed a deal with one of the tiles company to become their art director named Venus Mona Lisa. This is my achievement and activities from 2017 back in Italy until now. Not that many compared to other speakers and other collaborator. But I will highlight a little bit about myself that is quite interesting. So back in June 2018, I was graduated in Milan, Italy, and I was awarded to be one of the best graduates there. And I was honored to present or maybe give a speech in front of all graduates and also all the faculties there. And then after I graduated, I was scouted by Giulio Capellini. So me and Mr. Abi have a same background. I can say we both have scouted from one of the godfather of design, which is Mr. Giulio. I worked for him as an interior designer and visual marketing. I think I worked for him almost 2 years before I came back to Indonesia. And then in May 2019, I worked with maybe a lot of people have known the Salone del Mobile. Capellini opened one booth, which is very funny because it's a beside Indonesian booth. So that's why I got interviewed here by Metro TV as one of the designer Indonesia that go globally. And then before I came back to Indonesia on January 2020, I got awarded by the Indonesian Embassy in Rome by Miss Esther Andayani. And this is some publication from Indonesia as what I did back in Italy and now in Indonesia. So now I will talk about what we have to talk today. I will not talk too much about what is going on in nowadays design. But since today we are going to talk more about the future or maybe something happening tomorrow. So this is the one big word that I want to emphasize, which is the future. Some people think that future is something that is really, really long or maybe really, really far, something that is not possible to do today or something that is really, really imaginative. But before we start about talking what is happening in the future or what is future, I want to maybe take a little time back. I believe that a lot of you guys know this video clip from LMFAO. This is only a 10 seconds video, but I want you guys to see it. So that is a quick introduction about what is the future. If you guys remember, this video was live or aired on March 9th on 2011. And if you guys can see, that is the first time that people can actually imagine that in the future, maybe all the headphones will be wireless. Because we never think that when is the time where we have a headphone that is cordless or wireless. And now, which is today, 20th December 2021, we all have, or maybe you guys have something called AirPods or something. If you guys are using Samsung, they have the earbuds, something like that. I can say that the future that 10 years ago that we see is now today, which is not really far from what we are thinking. So the future is actually what we are living today. It's not something that we are thinking about 20 years from now, or maybe 30 years from now. So the future, the big word that we are going to talk about is something that already happened. As we already know about maybe the cordless headphones and then the electric car. People are talking about the electric car maybe like 20 years ago. In the future, we're going to have a car without the gasoline, or maybe we're gonna play a game in the not in the real world, but in the virtual world. Or maybe we will charge our phone not using a cord or maybe the plug. We're only using it on the wireless. What we said 10 years ago or 20 years ago about the future, we're living it right now. So I can say that the future that we have or maybe talk about is not something that's really far. It's actually tomorrow. It's actually something that is really, really close from what we have today. So that's why today, I want to talk about more emphasizely about the design tomorrow, something that is really close, not something really, really far. So mostly about the interaction between interior and also furniture design. And not design itself, but I want to change or maybe give you guys a little bit of what I believe is a mindset that you guys have to understand about what is happening now about the pandemic and what is shifting now in the pandemic that we have to understand if we want to able to compete in the industry of design. Some of you guys, the young designers, are maybe have happened to be same as me, graduated in the pandemic, and then not knowing what to do because all the industries not doing well. And then you guys design something but don't know how to promote it, market it, and a lot of stuff. And today I want to share with you how to be a designer that have a broad mindset and have a new mindset so that we can be the designer for tomorrow. So before I go on, I want you guys to see this kind of picture. In this picture, there are three main things that we can see. The first one is maybe the interior. So they built an ambience of something. And then you can see the furniture. You can see there is a chair with the chandelier kind of stuff there. But the interior and also the furniture is giving something else, something new, some new ambience in the entire interior that gives a new soul inside. Also with this kind of picture, there is something new that we are not talking about 10 years ago. So this is what happened today that I want to share with you. And also this one, there is an interaction between the interior and also the furniture, and there is something missing that we haven't talked about until today. So if I can conclude that something in the future is gonna be something related to interior, furniture, and question mark, what is it? And I'm gonna answer it today, but we have to learn before we go on. So I want to interact with the audience today. Is there anyone here know about the intangibility and also the tangibility? The difference between intangibility and also tangibility. So maybe Ibu Tri, can you help me to maybe choose one audience to maybe answer like what's the difference between intangible, or maybe you can put it on the chat box if anyone knows what is the difference between intangibility and tangibility.
Okay. How do I choose?
Maybe just randomly.
Well, the thing is, I think everyone is so concentrated on listening to you. So why not just straight away you can explain it a little bit? I think Abby did kind of, tipped what is tangible, right? There's something that you can touch, something like that. I think he said that. But it means the intangible, it's something that is, point. Maybe
Exactly.
you can.
Exactly.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
Basically, if we talk about tangibility, it's a derived word from tangible. It's a perceptible by touch. So if I can say in bahasa, it's basically sesuatu yang bisa kita pegang, sesuatu yang kita bisa rasakan, sesuatu yang kita bisa benar-benar pegang dan rasakan dan memberi sesuatu rasa. So basically, the value of each product is defined by our touch. That is what we call as tangible. Tangible is basically, this is like one of the examples. So basically tangible is if you can touch it, you can feel it, you can basically you can do something about it. That's called tangible. And tangible is basically something related with craftsmanship, something human made. That is what we call as tangible, even though there is a natural material that we have to, and we know that it is tangible as well. But tangible, mostly it's something that, so how do we define tangibility in design? It's the, I can say it's the functionality and value of each product defined by our touch. So basically everything, the product, it's defined by our touch. The functionality and the value, it's defined by our touch. And as you can see, there are lots of things happen or are made by the tangibility itself. So we can see like there's a tiles that made because of people love to touch something really interesting made from maybe from marble or maybe from wood or maybe from something from stones, any kind of stones. So it can be implemented to any of the craftsmanship. So it can be tiles, maybe it can be a table, it can be a chair, it can be a sofa, anything related with craftsmanship. So something craftsmanship or tangibility and something intangible. So intangible itself, it's something that we are unable to touch or not having physical presence. And this is the thing that we have to understand, and we have to remember that this intangible thing is something that play a really big role in our design today. Because mostly people are telling you that, oh, a good design have to look nice, have to have a good material, have to have a really good sense of tangibility, craftsmanship. But I can say that today, or maybe the future, you have to understand that there is other stuff, which is the intangible stuff, that play a really big role in our design today. So I can say that how do we define intangibility in design is the functionality of each product defined by the value. So this is a big word. This is something that we have to understand because intangibility is mostly related, maybe related to technology, something that we cannot see, something that we cannot feel, but the functionality is defined by the value. So if it has a value, then it has the functionality. I will tell you the story and maybe the example for you guys so that you guys can understand what I'm telling you about. This is maybe like some examples that you guys can see. Let's say the virtual reality. Virtual reality play a big role and maybe a really big role in the future as well. In terms of design, if we are talking about virtual reality, but the virtual reality itself doesn't have a good design in it, then people will not go into that virtual reality. Or maybe a 3D assets. If you guys see a 3D assets that didn't explain anything about the assets that they want to build, then you guys don't want to look at it. Or maybe something like augmented reality. Something augmented reality is helping people to see what is going to be something tangible on it. So if we're talking about the future, then the big question is it intangibility and tangibility is something that we cannot mix or something that we have to compare? And the answer is no, because in the future, if we can mix between intangibility and tangibility into one, then we are answering the first question, the missing part that we're gonna achieve in the future. So this is the answer of what is going to be happening in the future, which is intangibility and also tangibility. I can say that there is two things that is the most important thing about these two combining together. So first one is implementing the sense of intangibility to tangible products. What does it mean by that? If I say it in Bahasa, which is maybe easier for you guys to understand, is basically jadi memasukkan sesuatu sense yang intangible atau sesuatu yang tidak bisa terlihat di sesuatu yang sudah ada. Jadi kalau ada barang sesuatu yang sudah terjadi craftsmanship-nya, itu kita harus memasukkan sebuah sense yang tidak ada di dalamnya. Itu akan membuat sebuah added value dan juga intellectual property di dalam produk itu akan naik. Yang kedua adalah the second one is implement the sense of tangibility to intangible products. In bahasa, we can say that kalau ada barang-barang yang intangible, let's say virtual reality, augmented reality, and stuff, kita harus memasukkan sense of tangibility, sense of craftsmanship di dalamnya, supaya apa? Supaya sesuatu yang tidak terlihat ini bisa menjadi sesuatu yang lebih terlihat. That's the logic right there. Jadi yang pertama, kalau misalnya ada barang yang sudah ada, kita harus memasukin teknologi, kita harus memasukin sesuatu added value di dalamnya supaya added value semakin bertambah. Yang kedua, kalau misalnya ada produk yang belum ada atau sesuatu intangible, kita harus memasukkan sebuah intangibility supaya produk itu semakin bisa terlihat atau semakin bisa dirasakan klien. So let's talk about the first one. Implement the sense of intangibility to tangible products. I have a couple examples that I can maybe give you guys. So the first one may be a smart furniture, smart home system, and also interactive interior. So what does it mean by smart furniture? Right now, I'm building a smart furniture company with my partner, which is a smart home system person. Ini membuktikan bahwa sebenarnya furniture yang udah ada, there is something missing in the furniture right now, because we have a really advanced technology right now, but we are not implementing it in the furniture. So that's why we're finding the missing link, and we are putting and implementing the intangibility inside the something tangible, inside something like furniture, like house, like the interior. We're putting something intangible into something that is already there. This is one of the examples that we are trying to design. This is a furniture, regular table, but we put some technology inside it. So we put the Alexa inside this table. So if we say, Alexa, reading time, then they will open the shelf, the bookshelf, so that we can take our books or maybe magazines out of the table. But if we say, Alexa, it's wine time, and then they will the middle shelf will open, and then it will start cooling our wine inside of the table. And then if you say, Alexa, lift up the table, and then they will go on, and something like that. And it also has a wireless charger inside of the table as well. So something like this will give, or maybe we'll fix the missing link for our design in the future, because we put the intangible stuff inside of something tangible. This is some of the shots that we did. And something like this as well. This is maybe not really common in Indonesia yet, but it's starting. I can see a lot of museum, a lot of maybe commercial area already starting doing this in Indonesia, but this happened a lot back when I was in the United States, or maybe in the Europe, in Italy. People are trying to match together something related with the interior and something intangible. They're playing a lot with the project mapping. They play a lot with the lighting. They play a lot with the projectors, which will give an added value to something tangible. Something missing from what we already have in this world. They put something inside this one. And this is one example that you guys can maybe understand what I'm saying right now. Before, if we want to do an interior project about maybe King Kong, or maybe about zoo and other stuff, it's going to be boring, because we can only see pictures and other stuff. But now this is in the Empire State Building, they put the installation here, which you can really see the King Kong going around your building, something like this. So now let's talk about the second thing, which is to implement the sense intangible products, which is the key of the success for young generations. Because right now, for young generations, intangible products is something that we understand more compared to the older generation. Basically, I have three examples. One is the AR and VR industry, and then the second one is CGI, and the third one is metaverse. Something that I can say literally really new, something yang baru banget. But if you guys can understand, and if you guys can play a big role in it, you guys will go really far from what we have today. Let's talk about this video first. So about the AR and also VR industry. So we're helping a furniture company which don't have a showroom yet. But since we have the technology of augmented reality and virtual reality technology, we are helping this furniture company for having a virtual showroom, so they don't have to have a pay extra cost to have the actual showroom.
Hi, my name is Wen, and welcome to my virtual imagination. Di mana seni bertemu dengan teknologi. Interactive experience of having virtual objects and bring them into reality. Apapun yang possible di dunia digital bisa kita bawa ke dunia kita. Just one click away.
So this is what I call as implementing tangible stuff into intangibility, because augmented reality and virtual reality are intangible. But if we put some design in it, we put some projects in it, then it makes something intangible looks real and looks tangible. We're helping this furniture company. They don't have the money to open a showroom, so we make a virtual showroom for them. And the other problem that we solve is basically when people buy furniture, they don't know the size, the right size, and then they don't know the ambience of the interior and so on and so on. With the technology of the augmented reality, people can actually augment the furniture inside of their own house. So they will not buy the wrong size of the furniture. They will surely know if it fits the interior or not. So it helps a lot of people with this kind of technology, and it gives a new sense of design inside of it. And now the second one, I want to talk about the computer-generated imagery. I want you guys to guess if this one is a real product or this one is made by a computer. So this is our project from our company, some studio for Body Shop. If you can see the video, like the quality of the products is nearly almost the same with something real. But to be honest with you, it's all made up by the computer. And that's why we call it as a computer-generated imagery. And this is going to be the future, because something that is not possible we do in the real world, we can basically do it in a computer. Something that if you can, the part where it goes slides on your skin, and then something that we go around of the cream and something like that. It's not possible if we do it in the real world, and it's possible now because we have, quote unquote, the intangibility, but we put the tangible stuff inside of it. And last but not least, we can see that this is going to be the real future for designers. And I will explain it why later on. I want you guys to see this video as well for the metaverse.
Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day. your perfect work setup, and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
Looking good. Let's get together real quick for a debrief.
I'm free now. Let's jump in. Hi.
Hey.
So what do we think?
I think it's ready.
Great.
I'll prep it for the presentation.
All right. Good luck.
Imagine a space where you can tune out distractions and focus on the task at hand. And when you're ready to share what you've been working on, you can present it as if you're right there with the team.
Wait, where's Mark?
I think he's in the middle of something.
So this is actually gonna be the future, but is it gonna be the future or something that we say that it's gonna be like 10 years from now or maybe 5 years from now? No, actually something like metaverse is gonna be something that will be happening tomorrow or maybe next month, because me and my team is basically making a metaverse, the first metaverse website in Indonesia that will be on for you guys to try on January 2022. This is gonna be like the sneak peek of what we're gonna do there, what you guys are able to do as well. And as you guys can see, in the metaverse world, we do a lot of design people. As you guys can see, like it's possible for designers to design their wildest design, their craziest design in our world without actually have to do it in the real world. This is the good thing about having the intangibility in the tangible world. So for young designers out there, I can say that I believe that you guys are struggling. Maybe some of you guys are struggling a lot because of this pandemic, because maybe you guys graduated and then you guys don't have the opportunity or maybe the privilege to produce your own stuff or maybe design your own stuff or maybe not having a project in this pandemic because everybody is slowing down. But it's okay. What I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to explain to you right now is open your mind, change your mindset, because a lot of stuffs are happening now, a lot of stuffs are changing now, especially some intangibility, some virtual world are happening now. And as if for designers, you guys can design something like this and try to sell it, because now is the time for IP or intellectual property, where you can sell your stuff in the virtual world. Back then, when it's our maybe 10 or 5 years ago, we are trying to design something and we try to sell it by rupiah per meter persegi or rupiah per meter square. But right now in the virtual world, I can say that we are trying to sell something rupiah per megabyte. So it's a new type of business model. It's a new type of future that you guys can tap in and trying to build something out of it. So I think that's it that I want to try to implement and try to share with you guys and share what we are doing right now. If you guys interested in collaborating with us or maybe getting to know more about what we are doing, you guys can straight contact me to my Instagram or maybe to my other stuff, social media as well. And maybe to close up, there is one video about what we actually do in Creative Complex.
Berawal dari sebuah kesederhanaan, kami memulai sesuatu yang besar. Namun, pandemi mengubah situasi, dan kami harus beradaptasi. Menjadi lembaga edukasi bagi insan kreatif untuk belajar dan mengeksplorasi diri. Creative Complex. Puluhan kelas dengan ratusan peserta dari berbagai penjuru Indonesia telah mengikuti kelas kami. 1 tahun yang penuh cerita, 1 tahun penuh makna, dan 1 tahun yang menjadi awal untuk babak selanjutnya. Akan datang hal baru dengan semangat membara yang tetap sama. Coming soon 2022.
Thank you very much, everyone. If you have questions.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah. Thank you very much again, Chris, for the amazing insights of the future. Okay, how design can be as creative without boundaries nor limitations, right? So let me just summarize your presentation just a little bit. So I think not just for you, for us, the future is not only like seeing a long term or short term, but it actually is even tomorrow. So tomorrow is even the future. And what is tangible and what is intangible? So tangible is something that is able to be touched, such as craftsmanship, and intangible is unable to be touched, no physical appearances, but the senses, you can have that, right? So I think what is here is more the functionality of each product defined by the value. So I think although it's tangible, intangible, the product is actually the value of it that we need to focus on. So you did ask regarding how to compare or mix, and it's the combination that is the key to probably the success of a product. So there is two. So the implement of the senses of intangibility to tangible products, meaning something like example that is technology into a visual form, right? And implement the sense of tangibility to intangible products. So in short, it's the sense of design that is in a virtual world, right? So least but not least, but the metaverse as a virtual world is a new type of future. So I think the key at the end of the day is how to combine and how to collaborate in terms of the intangible and tangible becoming a product, or actually it becomes a space like metaverse. So thanks again for all the speakers. But so now we come into a Q&A session. And there are already several questions that is interesting. So let me read, oh, there's new ones, okay. So we have several questions from several people. And looking at the time, at least I will ask one from each person. Okay, so first is from Pak Kris Nugroho, and ask about, I think this can be, I don't know, we can chat a little bit between Mas Abi and Mas Kris, and maybe John, if you have any comments or inputs also. So the first question is how to figuring out the type of material and design structure shall be complied with the standard procedure, grade, size, and classification of sustainable load, occasional load, and displacement load. I think it's a very technical question. So, so first, Abi, I think, are you there? Apakah Mas Abi ada? Hi, okay. Oh, okay. So I think this is a very technical question here. It's about material and design structure, and how to figure things out. Well, I think that's one semester or 1 year itself, right? To discuss that. But maybe in short, you can kind of answer, Abi.
Yeah, I think. Thank you for the question from Pak Kris Nugroho. Yeah, so I think it is important. I think for the first question to answer it is, we need to understand the characters of the materials. Yeah, so in terms of understanding the materials, we need to know not only the unique characteristic, the textures, but also the strength and weakness point of it as well. For example, certain kind of wood have different hardness that affecting the functionality, affecting the exploration probability, and so on. Jadi sangat penting untuk jelas di sini kalau pertanyaannya how to figuring out the type of material and design structure adalah diawali memang pemahaman terhadap material itu sendiri menurut saya. Jadi sebelum kita mendesain, kita harus tahu dulu karakter material yang kita mau explore, batasan-batasannya. Kalau misalnya kayu itu dengan kekerasan yang berbeda, efeknya akan seperti apa. And in terms of, I think the next on the question is in terms of the standard procedure, grade, size, classification, sustainable load, and displacement load, dan juga nyambung ke yang pertanyaan terakhir yang lebih mengarah ke design engineering. Sebetulnya selain experience atau misalnya selain pemahaman terhadap material, juga perlu experience terhadap prosesnya juga, proses produksi dalam hal ini. Dan kalau misalnya kayak tadi misalnya ada standar prosedur, grade dan size dan segala macam, itu datanya sebenarnya sudah ada sih biasanya. Sebagian besar sudah ada datanya dan bisa dicari untuk jenis-jenis material yang biasa digunakan di industri atau di manufaktur yang ada di Indonesia. Terus kemudian kalau bicara mengenai authority certification structural terkait dengan struktur ya, saya terus terang belum terlalu memahami apakah memang ada sertifikasi struktur. Mungkin kalau misalnya kaitannya untuk produk furniture mungkin belum ada setahu saya, tapi kalau untuk interior atau arsitektur saya kurang tahu, mungkin ada juga. Memang kalau di internasional bahkan ada akademi atau sekolahnya sendiri sih sebetulnya memang untuk terkait dengan struktural ini, wood atau konstruksi dan semacamnya ya. Jadi kalau misalnya kita bicara mengenai apa yang kita bisa temukan ya di sini, itu memang sekali lagi terkait data-data karakter material itu mungkin masih bisa didapatkan, tapi kalau terkait dengan strength atau engineering ini segala macam, mungkin saya juga perlu cari tahu lagi, mohon maaf belum bisa menjawab. Dan terkait dengan tadi ya pemahaman terhadap material yang memang perlu diperkaya knowledge terhadap material yang ingin dieksplor, kurang lebih seperti itu.
Okay, thank you, Mas Adi, for the answers. So the next question is from Josie, and it is also for Abi. Halo Pak, bagaimana sampai bisa kerjasama dengan Kapel ini? Lalu dalam proses mendesain kursi, apakah ide dari Bapak atau bersama-sama? Dan apa yang menjadi inspirasi local content Indonesia dalam pembuatan lukis chair? Terima kasih. Okay.
Halo Josie, terima kasih untuk pertanyaannya. Ya sebetulnya saya juga nggak bisa menjawab sih itu, karena bisa sampai kerja sama Kapel ini. So,
ini alhamdulillah.
Ini Christopher mungkin lebih bisa ngejawab. Itu udah takdir ya. Karena sekali lagi tadi saya sampaikan beyond my wildest dream ya. Jadi malah terus terang waktu pada saat event KASA ya 2015 beliau jadi pembicara apa itu saya bisa dibilang merasa inferior lah, malu lah, gimana ya, itu kan kalau tadi Chris bilang Godfather desain dunia ya. Ya saya memang salah satu orang yang bisa dibilang Avengers lah, bisa superhero design gitu ya. Jadi saya juga nggak kebayang akan ada opportunity tersebut ya, apalagi di waktu yang bersamaan banyak sekali desainer Indonesia yang juga mengeluarkan karya-karyanya yang fenomenal pada saat itu. Memang sempat saya tanyakan ke beliau dan yang memang intuisi ya. Jadi Giulio Capellini ini memiliki intuisi yang sangat tajam dan kalau kamu mencoba mempelajari siapakah beliau ini, dia figur dari banyak sekali desainer top dunia termasuk Marcel Wanders, Jasper Morrison, Tom Dixon. Banyak sekali yang karya-karyanya itu pertama kali melejit itu setelah dilihat oleh mata beliau gitu ya. Jadi dia punya gut feelings, dia punya intuisi yang sangat luar biasa dalam melihat potensi satu karya. Saya rasa seperti itu. Dan kenapa sih kok bisa inspirasi lokal konten Indonesia ini bisa masuk ke Kapel ini? Ini dari timnya ya. Timnya Kapel ini yang ketika datang ke Indonesia menjelaskan gitu bahwa kita Kapel ini melihat saya sebagai desainer Indonesia merupakan desainer yang true to the nature as an Indonesian designer. Jadi nggak berusaha membawa bahasa yang terlalu internasional, gaya apa istilahnya ya. Masih ada sense locality, masih ada sense honesty dari karya yang dihasilkan, diantaranya lewat memang materialitas yang digunakan dan eksplorasi detail desain. Itu yang menjadi satu titik poin lukis share itu sendiri. Dan ketika bicara inspirasi lokal konten, lukis itu kan kalau misalnya bahasa Indonesia art, apa artinya painting ya, melukis gitu ya. Tapi sebetulnya inspirasinya menurut saya, sebenarnya ini karena saya mendesain 10 tahun yang lalu, inspirasinya itu masih rada-rada, kalau saya rasakan sekarang rada-rada silly ya. Lukis itu dari bulu tangkis sebetulnya. Jadi kalau ngelihat detail kakinya itu kayak gagang raket, terus pemasangan pattern itu seperti jari-jari raket badminton. Waktu itu saya ngelihatnya badminton tuh salah satu elemen Indonesia yang juara dunia lah, mendunia lah, dan ya itulah simbol-simbol seperti itu yang saya ambil. Dan waktu itu apalagi ya, saya developnya dari 2011 2012 itu Indonesia biasanya badminton medali emas tiba-tiba jadi enggak, sehingga ya menggelitik saya untuk bikin karya based on itu. Satu yang terpuruk, siapa tahu bisa bangkit lagi. Dan 2016 lukis share masuk kapel ini, 2016 ada Olimpiade lagi, dapat lagi tuh medali emas ganda campuran waktu itu. Tontowi Awad, Liliana Nasir. Jadi satu simbol-simbol yang menggelitik, yang buat saya personal gitu ya. Dan saya juga nggak bisa jelasin gamblang ke media karena sometimes it seems so silly karena terlalu personal kadang-kadang inspirasi itu. Tapi ya itulah tadi, mungkin inspirasi yang personal itu kadang ketika kita implementasikan dengan satu komposisi tertentu malah bisa memunculkan apresiasi yang berbeda. Julio sendiri melihat desain lukis share itu contemporary classic, sesuatu yang menurut dia sebagai seorang desainer itu sangat sulit untuk dibuat gitu loh. Jadi mungkin ya sekali lagi kenapa bisa sampai seperti itu ya menurut saya ya it's a blessing ya dari yang di atas ya. Ketika dia ada datang ke situ, saya juga bahkan prototipe yang saya taruh waktu itu di pameran Kasa yang didudukin oleh Julio itu prototipe yang masih belum sempurna, masih goyang, masih konstruksinya masih belum rapi dan segala macam. Tapi dia melihat potensinya dan kita kembangkan selama kurang lebih hampir 8 bulan waktu itu untuk penyempurnaannya. Kayak kurang lebih sih seperti itu. Jadi kalau misalnya kita ngelihat tadi presentasi Chris cukup relevan ya, intangible and tangible. I am more tangible designers, jadi gimana touch the materials, the details. Tapi sebenarnya sederhananya sih saya desainer gaptek aja sih, kalau nggak terlalu futuristik. Saya masih bekerja dengan teknik yang tradisional. Hi John. So I think that's my answers.
Oh, that's very honest answers. Yeah. Yes. I think. Yes, John. Do you have anything to add? Oh, okay. Anyway, so the next question is actually from Bu Sri Riswanti, and it's to Chris. Bagaimana cara yang efektif untuk men-trigger pemikiran agar sesuatu yang intangible tersebut dapat menyatu dengan produk yang tangible? Terima kasih.
Siap. Terima kasih Bu Sri atas pertanyaannya. Nah, tapi mungkin sebelum menjawab pertanyaan Bu Sri tadi, aku menanggapi juga sama ceritanya Mas Abi, memang benar. Jadi aku juga pernah nanya sama Julio kenapa kok out of all people di seluruh kelas itu yang notabene dari negara yang kayak background desainnya mungkin lebih kuat ya, dari US, dari Meksiko, dari Italia, dari Prancis, dari mana-mana, kenapa kok miliki saya dari Indonesia? Itu jawaban dia adalah it came from my stomach. Jadi emang jawabannya benar-benar unik dan ya Julio style, anggapannya kayak gitu. Dan memang kalau bisa dijawab ya memang itu it's a blessing from God. Kita bisa di posisi seperti ini tuh ada part di mana Julio juga memang ngebantu banyak. Anyway, untuk menjawab pertanyaan Bu Sri tentang bagaimana caranya men-trigger, yang pertama itu adalah satu, kita harus mencari problem dulu. Jadi kalau kita berbisnis itu sama dengan kita mendesain. Di saat kita berbisnis dan juga mendesain itu kita harus cari masalah dulu. Bukannya kita memang tipe orang yang suka cari-cari masalah, tapi kalau misalnya kita ada cari masalah berarti ada solusi. Di saat ada solusi berarti kita pasti bisa mendatangkan sebuah revenue atau menjadi sebuah problem solving dari itu. Nah, di saat kita mau mencari sebuah intangibility dalam sebuah tangible supaya bisa men-triggernya, ya kita cari dulu masalah apa sih yang harus diselesaikan dari produk-produk yang tangible ini supaya bisa dibantu atau supaya bisa dipermudah dengan adanya intangible stuff atau dengan adanya teknologi. Contohnya apa sih? Contohnya dengan kita mendesain misalnya ada meja office. Meja office ini adalah meja office. Tapi kalau misalnya dulunya meja office ini kalau kita tuh mau ngecas harus jalan dulu, kita kalau misalnya mau ngangetin minuman harus pergi dulu ke pantry, kalau misalnya kita mau ngecas laptop harus pergi lagi nyolokin dan lain-lain. There is a lot of problems that we can solve with the intangibility. Kalau misalnya kita membuat sebuah teknologi smart di dalam meja office itu, kita implement ada colokannya, ada wireless chargingnya, ada heaternya untuk minuman dan lain-lain. It all solved in one product and in one technology. Jadi itu kira-kira bagaimana sih caranya kita men-trigger? Cari dulu masalahnya. Kita cari dulu apa yang menjadi sesuatu untuk di-solve. Baru dari situ duitnya keluar. Gitu kira-kira.
Yes. You said it tepat, padat. Okay, so the next question is from Arista. And of course, she wants to say thank you to Chris, especially for sharing your experience and knowledge to us today. I'm really interested and want to know more about the combination between art design with technology that you've talked before. I want to ask, did your experience when studying abroad inspired you about this? And in your opinion, what aspects that we need to know or remember when trying to combine the design technology? Thank you.
Siap, thank you banyak pertanyaannya dari Arista.
Arsita, sorry.
Arsita, ya.
Yeah, I'm sorry, ya.
Iya, sorry. Sebenarnya kayak gini, kalau misalnya ditanya apakah my educational background itu affect what am I doing today and what my company are doing right now, sebenarnya nggak juga, karena background dari sekolah saya adalah interior design. Dan kalau ditanya yang kita kerjakan sekarang ini apakah ada hubungannya dengan interior design, ya ada, pasti ada. Tapi it's a totally different world, it's a totally different mindset. Sebenarnya yang membuat saya mengerjakan semua ini adalah pandemi gitu. Jadi saya memang kalau misalnya ditanya orang kenapa kau ngerjain ini bisnis ini semua, ya karena dihimpit oleh adanya pandemik gitu kan. Kita sebagai anak muda itu nggak boleh cuma berhenti dan tidak melakukan apa-apa, tapi kita harus berinovasi, berimajinasi supaya apa, kita bisa menjadi contoh buat anak muda yang akan datang. Karena kalau nggak ada orang-orang seperti kita yang bisa melihat sebuah potensi dari 6 sisi yang berbeda, kalau misalnya kotak itu ada 6 dimensi, kita harus bisa melihat sebuah potensi itu dari 6 sisi yang berbeda, dari atas, bawah, kiri, kanan, depan, belakang, atas, segala macam, supaya kita bisa survive. Kalau misalnya kayak dulu orang-orang waktu pertama kali pandemik, ya udah diam aja lah sampai pandemiknya kelar. Are you gonna stay quiet, sit down for 2 years? Of course not. We're gonna be dead unless you're a billionaire yang maksudnya kayak punya runway of money yang maksudnya sangat-sangat panjang. Tapi dengan kita yang anggapannya dari orang yang normal-normal aja nih, kita harus melihat potensi dengan sangat-sangat baik supaya apa, dari sebuah problem pandemik ini there's a lot of potential yang kita bisa solve yang dapat menjadi sebuah bisnis ke belakangnya. Nah itu. Dan pertanyaan yang kedua, aspek apa yang harus kita ingat kalau misalnya kita mau mengcombine sebuah desain dan juga teknologi. Nah ini yang penting banget. Kalau menurut aku, sebuah desain tidak boleh terlihat terlalu terteknologi, dan sebuah teknologi tidak boleh terlihat terlalu terdesain. Supaya apa sih? Supaya kita bisa menemukan sebuah middle point atau melting point, di mana keduanya itu bisa berbaur, dan itu kita bisa menemukan sebuah added value yang menarik. Contohnya apa? Kalau misalnya kita mendesain misalnya sebuah meja dengan implementasi teknologi, tapi orang nggak tahu itu ada implementasi teknologinya, ya mungkin orang akan melihat ini meja biasa. Tapi kalau misalnya kita mendesain sebuah meja yang memang ada sisi art dan juga craftsmanship-nya, tapi orang juga tahu kalau ini ada sisi teknologinya, that's a good melting point. Tapi kalau on the other side, misalnya kita mendesain sebuah TV, nah TV-nya ya udah TV seperti biasa aja, nggak ada sisi desainnya sama sekali. Mungkin TV itu menarik karena kemarin tuh aku ada lihat ada dari Borulek Brothers kalau nggak salah itu collaborating with Samsung or LG. Jadi mereka bikin TV yang kayak figura. Nah itu di mana sisi teknologi benar-benar berkolaborasi dengan desain yang orang sebenarnya juga melihat kayak it's not too much, it's perfect. Jadi anggapannya itu seperti itu. Jadi di mana kombinasi antara desain dan teknologi itu harus saling mengisi satu sama lain, bukan saling overcoming satu sama lain. I think that's the art behind it when we are designing stuff. Gitu sih.
Okay. So, I think that's all the questions. Maybe Abi or Chris want to add a little bit about, to give inspirations to those out there, especially the young designers, who wants to maybe join the design camp to seek for a more better future, or, just any inputs or inspirational thoughts, or maybe from John. Hello. Anyway, so Abi, Chris.
John is already left.
Oh, John already left. Okay, so maybe additional inputs or inspirational thoughts from Abi or Chris.
Yeah, I think I would like to once again say my gratitude for this excellent program from HDII, and hopefully on the design camp later on could also be successful. And nice to meet you also, Chris. Really interesting. I think I have seen your works, your installation also for the Capellini, and it's terrific. Congratulations also for you. Jadi sekali lagi terima kasih aja. Saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih juga.
Don't say goodbye ya.
Oh gitu. Iya. Ya udah.
Belum selesai, jangan dulu pergi. Hanya mungkin ada thoughts lain gitu. So don't go away yet, Abi. What about Chris? Any more comments or inputs?
Ya, siap. Sama juga saya. Jadi pertama mau ngomong thank you juga buat acara yang luar biasa ini. Juga undangannya udah menjadi speaker di sini. Nah, ini saya cuma nunggu nanti dari Mas Abi kapan kita bisa ketemu dan berkolaborasi sesuai dengan presentasinya. Jadi nanti saya menunggu. Nanti kita kontak-kontakan. Nah, mungkin ya karena mungkin saya yang paling relatable sama apa yang designers karena saya sendiri ya saya masih menganggap diri saya masih muda meskipun nggak muda-muda banget. Cuman yang satu, we are in a tough situation. I think the toughest one yang kita pernah alami selama ini. Nggak cuman Indonesia aja yang suffer, tapi the whole world is suffering for this pandemic. Yang aku mau share buat teman-teman yang designers out there, jangan menyerah dalam artian apa? Duduk baik dan juga diam itu kadang itu dibutuhkan. Jadi di saat-saat seperti ini tuh jangan terlalu terlalu gila dengan apa yang kita streskan gitu. Jadi kadang di saat seperti ini duduklah diam berpikir dan juga melihat potensi dari problem-problem yang sudah ada di sini, karena ya sekali lagi yang aku mau share ke teman-teman, potensi dari desain dan juga dari bisnis itu keluar dari adanya problem-problem yang ada di masyarakat. Jadi itu kira-kira yang aku bisa sharekan sama teman-teman lah kira-kira. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chris. Now I think I need to summarize a little bit about everything. In short, in Indonesian, sebenarnya apa yang disampaikan Abi dan Chris itu seperti summary juga ya. So probably I would summarize it in English. I think before what Pak Joshua said in creative economy, that better design is better intellectual property. So I think the key here for today is design for tomorrow is more to collaboration. I think that's the key. Too, because there's an added value in that intellectual property. and how that collaboration can add that value. And values we can see in different perspectives. One, as in Abby, is transforming tradition. So how heritage, he highlights heritage as a characteristic through materials or techniques, or even concepts or icons. So it doesn't need to be a specific, but it can be that character that is an added value. And again, that collaboration between the designers and clients, or even the market industry, is very important to enhance the quality and also everything that is in it, to make the designer, not only the designer known, but the product as a functional product. And not last but not least, that design for the future is actually design combination with technology, how tangible, intangible, or vice versa products, which can define the future itself. So everything what we heard is actually about how collaboration in the past or in the future can create a character that is an added value to our creative economy. So I think that's all for today, but reminder to all audience and participants to fill and submit attendance form and to fill for SKPK if needed. And reminder to invite friends, relatives, connections that are interested to join the Design Camp event. Please see HDII DKI Sosmed, IG, Facebook, website, and to register. So you can, here is the fill form absent. So you can scan it, right? And if you want to join the Design Camp, so again, go to HDII DKI Sosmed and IG, Facebook, and website, of course. So please kindly photo bersama for session, photo session, please, everybody. Can you turn on the video for everybody so we can have a photo together? And is everybody on? Okay. Hello? Yeah. Oh, is it on, or are we gonna? We're gonna. Okay.
Say cheese.
Oh, say cheese. Okay. Is it already? No. Am I supposed to be ready? Okay. Say cheese. Is Marina going to say the yes, it's done, or who?
Oh, okay. It's fine. Udah selesai.
Belum ya?
Belum.
Okay. Oh, udah selesai.
Tunggu operator yang tunggu, Mbak.
Oh, belum.
Sebentar.
Okay. Hold on, technical issues.
Halo.
So, while we're waiting. While we're waiting.
Okay, while we're waiting, thank you very much semuanya ya, Mbak Tri.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much to all speakers. Yes. And of course, AHEC as the main sponsor at Instituto Maranggoni. Yeah. Should we stay?
Thank you for the speaker semuanya ya, Tri.
Ya.
Mas semua mentor, semua judge, terima kasih. Hari ini banyak dapat bekal, semoga join the design camp ya.
Ya. Masih belum? Mau difoto?
Udah, Bu, udah. Sudah. Okay.
Oh, udah selesai. Oh, okay. So make sure to stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned and subscribe to HDII DKI YouTube channel and follow HDII DKI Jakarta Instagram account at HDII Jakarta and AHEC's Instagram at AHEC _SEA. So again, thank you very much for everybody who participate as an audience, and also especially to the speakers and to our sponsors, AHEC as the main sponsor, and Istituto Mangaroni, Italy. Thank you very much, everybody. So we're closing, and goodbye.
Terima kasih semua. Thank you for the media also. Bye-bye.
Bye.